Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is January the 27th, and I am filming my video for today. And this is actually kind of an interesting one. So I didn't film a video Sunday. Honestly, I had a super emotional weekend. My friend that I had mentioned in the previous video who had a son who was diagnosed with leukemia, he passed away on Saturday. So I spent a large portion of my day at the hospital. Being with their family during that time, and he was 21 years old. His name was Tony. He was diagnosed with leukemia, and ironically enough, he didn't die of the leukemia, but the leukemia was what brought him in the hospital, where he contracted the infection that was actually what took him out. So it was very sad for me, very sad day for all of us really that knew him, because he was a wonderful kid. And so my heart is really with his family. And I will put a plug in for Chris and Misty. You guys have been such an example to my husband and I of how to behave during childhood cancer. And just, you really demonstrated the joy of the Lord, honestly, at your son's passing. I don't know that I could have been so composed. And just such a picture of strength as your whole family was, and it really was a testimony to your faith in God. So I just really want to give you guys kudos for that, because it really was just such a thing to behold, and just let you know that my heart is heavy for you guys and with you guys, and I'm thinking about you, and wrapping my arms around you. In spirit, and so and I pray that the Lord just comforts you during this time, and gives you joy in the midst of your grief. So anyways, not to be a downer, but I had a very emotional weekend, to say the least. It had some high points and some low points, and one of the high points of my weekend, which is actually the subject of this video, is I took my kids to the park this weekend, and we have a little skate park behind the Walmart that's by our house, and they wanted to ride their scooters, and so we took them to the skate park. And my husband went to Walmart while I stayed at the park and watched the kids, because the park is right behind Walmart, and we had a couple things to get. And I was actually talking with my best friend about this, which is what prompted me to make the video, because I'm actually making this kind of like a poll. I'd like to hear some other feedback on this particular issue. But so I'm at the park, and I'm with my kids, and I'm by myself, and this black gentleman comes up, and he has his two boys with him, and they're riding their scooters at the skate park as well. And it was obvious when I saw the kids that the children were mixed. And which I have no problem with interracial couples. I really don't care. So that's not what this is about. And so his wife gets out, and she looks like she's some kind of Asian. I'm assuming Filipino, but I don't know. Very pretty Filipino girl. And she comes out, and, they're just watching their kids. It's a normal family. And immediately when he arrived, and then his wife came out, and I saw her, I began to feel self-conscious about being at the park alone with my children, because I began to perceive, or I began to be insecure or concerned about them perceiving me as some single black mom who, wasn't with my baby daddy, and I'm at the park with my kids by myself. Even though I have on a wedding ring, and even though, what difference does it make, whether or not they think I'm some, single black mom, it doesn't matter. But I remember feeling very insecure and wishing that my husband was there to sort of show them, that I do have a husband, that I am married, that I am not alone, taking care of these kids. And when my husband showed up, I was like ecstatic, and I was like, "Hi, honey," and I was just a little overzealous, which normally I'm super chipper with my husband anyways, because I love him to pieces. So if anybody ever sees us together, we're pretty lovey-dovey. But still, I noticed this about myself, and this is not the first instance where I've ever felt this way. I noticed that if I'm ever out with my kids and I accidentally leave my wedding ring at home for whatever reason, I took it off to clean and just forgot to put it back on, I immediately feel very self-conscious, as if I'm instantly being judged as this black single mom who, is not with a baby daddy, and I'm raising my kids on my own. And I debated making this video, because I have a lot of female friends that are black single mothers. And I didn't want them to feel as if I was judging them or thinking of them as less than or looking down upon them because I was self-conscious about being numbered among them incorrectly. I don't want that. That's not what I'm trying to say here. If anything, what I'm saying here is that there's something wrong with me and my thought process and why I'm so concerned about veritable strangers perceiving me as being a single mother when they, that's just something that they would never know unless they actually sat down and talked to me and got my story from me. And so if they incorrectly, misrepresent me because of their own prejudices, then that's their problem. It has nothing to do with me. And so I'm not trying to bash, single women and stuff. I haven't walked in your shoes. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know, why you are where you are. And honestly, that's just not my concern. It's your life to live, And so, but it began to make me wonder if other Black women with their children, when they're out in public, do they experience that same insecurity? Have you ever had any instances where you felt discriminated against or you felt judged because you were alone with your children or someone perceived that you were a single mother, or maybe found out that you were a single mom and you were, had these kids. And so it just made me wonder what the Black experience, the Black female motherhood experience was like out in public or under the scrutiny of others, because I understand that it's a stereotype that is very real in society when it comes to Black women and their children. That we are all got kids by multiple baby daddies, and we ain't with none of the fathers, and we're living on welfare. And so I was very concerned, and it made me think, this is an interesting topic. This is something worth discussing. So I'm asking my friends and my non-friends, anybody that happens to watch this video and have an opinion, if you could comment and tell me if you have that same insecurity or if you've experienced an incident where you felt discriminated against or judged as a single mom or because you are a single mom, or in your own families, just things that happen in life. If there is a Black female motherhood experience of prejudice and, judgment, extra scrutiny, those kinds of things. I'm very interested in that and just kind of wanting to know if I'm alone in the way that I feel or if this is something that you also go through as well. Because I am constantly on a quest to better myself, to better my perception of the world, and to better my opinion of myself, and not really look to the world to kind of validate me. And sometimes I think, I'm doing pretty good. And then these things happen and I realize that, that there are still areas in my life that I really need to work on. And so I welcome these things coming to me and happening so that I can see them and perceive them and work on them. But I'm very curious to find out what some of your experiences are like. So if you could please watch this video, comment. I'm also going to post it to my Facebook page so you can comment on my Facebook page because I'm super, super interested in knowing if this is anybody else has this same experience. So I will talk to you guys later. It's already been like 8.5 minutes. I got to go. Bye.